Okay, doing a little bit of long reach work here today. You can see I'm on the 100-ton crawler crane. I've got 141 feet of main boom and 60 or 59 feet of jib, so 200 feet of boom. I'm reaching about 150 feet right now, and I'm actually reaching to the other side of this building, setting pallets on the up on some scaffolding on the other side of this building. But this is what I'm looking at. This is what I see when I look out my window. If I just look up, that's it. That's all I can see. Pretty much just this wall, and we just call this working in the blind. And I would say that when you're on a crane, it seems to me like about half the time you're either picking up in the blind or you're setting down in the blind. You do a lot of work where you can't see what you're doing, so you got to rely on your LMI. I like to pick out a specific spot, like right here. You see this little radius right here, and I know I'm just a few feet to the right of that radius, and that's where I'm picking up, setting down. If you're picking and setting in the same spot all the time, watch your radius length here. You've got impulse clickers on your winches here. They click. You can see that click, and you can feel it when it's, when you've got your hand on that, you can feel it clicking. Each click is about 2 inches, and I'll show you on the drum how these work. The rigger is over there on the other side, and we're using radios, and I'm a ham radio operator, so I have this ham radio, but then we use these walkie-talkies. But we do sometimes just use the telephones, and sometimes I'll wear a headset with the telephone on, and usually I try and use the radios though. So I'm setting material down here where these pallets are, picking up from down here and setting material up there. There's what my boom looks like stretched out over the building, and I'll show you what the impulse clickers run off of on these winches. You can see the sensor is right there, and the winch drum has these teeth that looks like a saw blade on here or something, but from each tooth here you've got about 2.5 inches, something like that. So if the rigger tells me I need to go down a foot, I can count those, about 6 or so, 5 or 6 clicks, and I'm down. So you've got them on the main winch, and you've got them on the auxiliary, and back on the boom winch as well. So one of the things about these cranes, on most manufacturers, they put a counterweight right here that they call a car body weight, and this counterweight works really well when you're working off of the front or off of the back. It adds stability to your front and back, but it doesn't add to your sides. And on these Sannies, they use these weights are 11,000 pounds, and they call them a track frame weight. And these do help when you're working off of the side. So when I'm doing a long reach like this, I've got a little extra counterweight on the back, and I kind of feel like it's an advantage when you're working off of the side. Your best stability is on soft ground is when you're working off of the side. And I guess I'll make a video about stability, ground stability, and your position stability as you're rotating. But the thing that you don't want to do when you're doing long reach is you don't want to move from stability to instability. If you have a position that is stable, you're of high stability, and you pick up and you're at max capacity or max reach in a high stability, and you swing over to low stability, you can upset your crane just by rotating, not by picking up, not by booming down, anything, just by rotating from a position of stability into a position of instability. You can just upset your crane. And so that's one of the things I'm gonna do another video on the rotation stability and track stability, track frame stability, and kind of explain that. But I thought just for today I'd give you an example of what it looks like when you're sitting in a crane and you're doing long reach and you're just looking at that, you know, working in the blind.